In life, we often encounter people who challenge us, attempt to bring us down, or even oppose our progress. It's easy to think that in order to succeed, we must fight against these obstacles and enemies. But what if I told you that the greatest victory you can achieve is one that doesn't involve a single fight? The first step in destroying your enemy without fighting them is understanding this simple truth: indifference is a powerful weapon. Imagine your enemy trying to provoke you, trying to get under your skin, but your response is nothing. You do not react. You do not engage. The power they hold over you diminishes because without your energy, they lose their influence. They can no longer control you. That's true strength, being unaffected by things that don't matter to your ultimate goals. Next, focus on mastering your mind. In every situation, you have a choice. You can react with emotion, or you can choose to respond with calm and clarity. When you're emotionally driven, you allow your enemies to dictate your actions. But when you maintain mental mastery, you take back the power. Don't allow others to decide your mood or your actions. Instead, choose your response carefully. Remember, the most powerful response you can give is no response at all. This brings us to the next point: focus on your own growth. When you focus your energy on becoming the best version of yourself, your enemies lose their relevance. They cannot touch your progress if you're always moving forward. Your personal growth should be your greatest priority. Instead of wasting time battling people who seek to undermine you, invest that time in developing your skills, building your network, and growing your potential. Success will eventually overshadow those who tried to hold you back. In connection to that, leverage your strengths. Every time you improve yourself, whether in your career, your personal life, or your relationships, you make yourself irreplaceable. Your value becomes undeniable. The stronger you become, the more you outshine your enemies without ever needing to confront them. Your presence alone will be enough to render their attacks irrelevant. There's the art of silence. Many of us feel the need to explain ourselves or defend our position when we're under attack. But often silence is the most powerful tool. By simply choosing not to react, you send a message that you're too focused, too successful, and too strong to be swayed by negativity. Your silence speaks volumes, leaving your enemies with nothing to target. You don't need to fight to win. Your success, your peace, and your strength are your best forms of defense. Focus on yourself, stay silent in the face of provocation, and let your growth speak for you. In doing so, you will destroy your enemy without ever lifting a finger. The power of indifference is one of the most underestimated tools we have in dealing with conflict. It's easy to assume that fighting back, proving a point, or defending yourself against an attack is the best way to handle an enemy. But in reality, there is a far more powerful and effective response that can leave your adversary powerless, simply not engaging with them. When we respond to negativity, whether it's an insult, a criticism, or an attack, we are essentially giving the other person control over our emotions and reactions. We allow them to decide how we feel and how we act. This is exactly what they want, as they feed off your response, whether it's anger, frustration, or even defensiveness. The moment we engage in the conflict, we lose a part of our peace and energy to them. But indifference completely changes that dynamic. Indifference doesn't mean that we don't care or that we're apathetic. It simply means that we refuse to allow the actions of others to dictate our emotional state. It's about realizing that their words, their actions, and their energy are theirs, not ours. We don't have to absorb it or react to it. In fact, by not reacting, we take back control. This indifference is a sign of inner strength. It's not a weakness, as some might assume. To truly be indifferent is to have mastered yourself. It's understanding that the opinions, actions, or criticisms of others have no bearing on your value or your purpose. When you choose to ignore them, you stop giving them the power to affect your life. You show them that their efforts are futile and that they are not worth your time or energy. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you allowed someone's words or actions to affect your day? How many times have you let a person's negativity take you out of your calm and peace? The truth is, when you react to someone's attack, you're letting them define your emotions. You've handed over the power of your mental state to them. But when you practice indifference, you take that power back. You are no longer at the mercy of others' opinions or actions. One of the most powerful aspects of indifference is its ability to disarm. When someone expects a reaction from you and doesn't get it, they often lose interest. They are left with nothing to feed off of, and their efforts fall flat. If you're constantly reacting to every negative thing someone throws at you, you are feeding the conflict. But by choosing not to engage, you starve it. The enemy can only continue their attack if they get something in return. If they get nothing from you, they have no reason to keep trying. Indifference is also an incredibly effective way to preserve your energy. Fighting battles with people who are not invested in your growth is exhausting and ultimately counterproductive. You can waste so much time and effort defending yourself, trying to prove a point, or getting caught up in drama that could have been better spent focusing on your goals and your personal development. Instead of engaging with negativity, indifference allows you to conserve your time and energy for things that actually matter. By practicing indifference, you also teach others how to treat you. When they realize that their attempts to provoke or upset you don't succeed, they start to learn that you are not someone to be trifled with. Indifference shows that you cannot be controlled by their attempts to upset you. It's a form of self-respect when you refuse to engage with negativity. You demonstrate to others that you value your peace more than their opinions. In the long run, indifference becomes a kind of armor. It's not something that's visible like physical armor, but it is just as effective. When you practice it consistently, it becomes second nature. You start to recognize that most attacks and criticisms are just distractions, attempts to draw you into unnecessary conflict. And once you stop engaging, you realize that many of these enemies don't even matter. Their words, actions, or criticisms have no real power in your life unless you choose to give them power. Ultimately, indifference is not about being cold or disconnected from the world. It's about choosing not to let the negativity of others control your emotional life. It's about learning to respond only to what adds value to your life and ignoring what doesn't. When you do this, you not only neutralize your enemies without fighting them, but you also unlock a greater sense of peace and inner strength that no one can take away from you. Mastering your mind is the key to becoming truly powerful in any situation, especially when you feel under attack or faced with challenges. The truth is, how you react to the world around you determines not only your emotional state, but also your ability to move forward. In every encounter with an adversary, whether in a personal, professional, or even public setting, you have a choice. You can react with emotion, or you can choose to respond with calmness and clarity. The choice is yours, and it is this choice that ultimately determines your success in dealing with conflict or negativity. Most of us are wired to react quickly, especially when we feel threatened or attacked. It's a natural human instinct to defend ourselves or to prove that we're right. However, reacting in this way often leads us into a trap. We give away our power to the person who has provoked us. The more we react, the more we let their actions control our thoughts and behaviors. This is a dangerous cycle that can prevent us from achieving the peace, success, and clarity we need to thrive. The key to overcoming this cycle is mental mastery. This means learning how to take a step back before you react. It means recognizing that you have the ability to control your response, regardless of what is happening around you. Mental mastery doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending that you're not affected by a situation. It means choosing not to be controlled by those feelings. It's about understanding that you are not your emotions, you are the observer of them. When you gain the ability to step back and observe your thoughts and feelings, you can decide how to respond in a way that serves you rather than allowing external factors to dictate your actions. One of the most powerful ways to gain mental mastery is by practicing mindfulness. When you're mindful, you are fully present in the moment, without judgment. You observe your thoughts and feelings as they arise, but you don't attach to them. This practice allows you to recognize when an emotion is being triggered and to create space between the trigger and your reaction. For example, if someone insults you or undermines your efforts, Instead of immediately reacting with anger or frustration, you can pause. You can take a deep breath and allow the initial emotions to pass before you decide how to respond. This pause gives you the power to choose a response that is rooted in wisdom, not in impulse. Mastering your mind also involves perspective. When you face a difficult situation or an enemy who seeks to challenge you, it's easy to become overwhelmed by negative emotions. However, if you can change your perspective and view the situation as an opportunity to grow, you will find that the power of the enemy diminishes. Every challenge, every confrontation, and every difficulty can teach us something about ourselves. Instead of seeing these moments as battles to win or lose, you can choose to see them as lessons. This shift in mindset allows you to take control of the situation rather than letting the situation control you. Another key aspect of mental mastery is the ability to control your focus. When you allow external events or negative people to take up space in your mind, you are allowing them to distract you from your goals and your purpose. If you allow your enemy to constantly occupy your thoughts, you are giving them far too much power. But when you control your focus and choose to direct your energy toward the things that matter most to you, whether it's personal development, work, relationships, or your health, you can minimize the impact of your enemies. By focusing on your goals, you make your enemies irrelevant. They no longer have the ability to take up your mental energy because your mind is consumed with things that align with your values and aspirations. In moments of conflict, it's easy to get lost in your emotions, to feel the urge to fight back, to defend your honor, or to prove your worth. But true strength lies in the ability to remain calm, centered, and deliberate in your actions. Mental mastery is the ability to choose your response, not react impulsively. It's about understanding that your peace, your happiness, and your success are not dependent on anyone else's actions, but on how you choose to handle them. When you master your mind, you not only avoid falling into the traps set by your enemies, but you also gain a deeper sense of self-respect. You respect your own peace of mind enough to protect it. You respect your time and energy enough not to waste them on people or situations that don't align with your higher purpose. Mental mastery is the path to personal freedom. It is about taking back control over your thoughts, feelings, and actions, and no longer allowing external circumstances to determine how you experience life. When you master your mind, you don't just survive conflict, you rise above it. You move through challenges with grace, confidence, and resilience, knowing that your mental strength is the key to achieving your greatest goals. When it comes to conflict and adversaries, one of the most effective tools at your disposal is the ability to maintain your focus. The world is full of distractions, challenges, and people who will try to pull you off course, especially when you're pursuing meaningful goals or seeking personal growth. The true power lies in your ability to keep your eye on the prize and not get distracted by the noise around you. By maintaining a strong, unshakable focus, you can neutralize potential enemies without ever needing to engage in a confrontation. Focus is the ultimate form of control. It's easy to let external forces dictate your mood, your direction, and your behavior. It's easy to get sidetracked by the opinions and actions of others, especially when those around you seem to be determined to tear you down or challenge your ideas. However, the key to success, particularly in the face of adversity, is learning to focus on what truly matters. This doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or the people who may seek to distract you, but rather refusing to let them take up precious space in your mind and heart. When you allow yourself to be constantly distracted by outside forces, you lose momentum. Your energy is spent on battles that don't serve your long-term goals. For example, if you engage in petty arguments or focus too much on what your adversaries are doing, you end up diverting attention away from what you should be doing, working toward your own success and personal growth. Each moment you spend worrying about someone else's actions is a moment you are not investing in your own future. The more you focus on the distractions, the less energy you have for the things that matter most. One of the most empowering realizations is that the only thing you have control over is your own mind. You can't control how others behave or the obstacles that come your way, but you can control how you respond. And the key to a powerful response is a clear and focused mind. When you maintain focus on your goals, nothing can distract you from your purpose. You're not bothered by minor issues, criticism, or the noise that surrounds you because you know what's important to you and where you're headed. Focus also gives you the clarity to make better decisions. In the heat of conflict or when dealing with adversaries, it's easy to become reactive. You may feel the urge to retaliate or prove a point. However, acting out of emotion or impulse often leads to poor decisions that can have long-term consequences. When you maintain focus, you are able to pause, reflect, and respond strategically. Instead of rushing into a reaction, you can assess the situation, weigh the pros and cons, and make a decision that serves your best interests in the long run. When you maintain a strong focus on your own growth, you stop comparing yourself to others. Your enemies often thrive on comparison and competition. They want you to feel less than, to doubt yourself, or to waste time trying to outdo them. But when you stay focused on your own journey, you don't need to compete. You don't need to measure your success against anyone else's. You simply stay in your lane and continue moving forward toward your own goals. This shift in mindset not only helps you avoid unnecessary conflict, but it also gives you the inner peace and confidence to remain undeterred by the opinions and actions of others. A focused mindset also allows you to stay resilient in the face of challenges. Adversaries, whether they are people or difficult circumstances, often seek to derail your progress. Their goal is to distract you, to sow doubt, or to get you to abandon your pursuits. But when you're focused, you understand that challenges are a natural part of the journey. You see them not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. You know that no obstacle, no matter how big or small, can stop you if you remain committed to your purpose. One of the most powerful aspects of maintaining focus is the peace it brings. People who are constantly distracted by the world around them are often overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, and frustration. They react to everything, feel pulled in every direction, and often feel powerless. But when you choose to focus on what truly matters, you experience a sense of calm that allows you to move through life with greater ease. You become less concerned with external factors and more committed to what you can control. This inner peace is contagious. It allows you to handle difficult situations with grace and shows others that they cannot disrupt your sense of purpose. The ability to maintain focus is also a reflection of self-discipline. It takes discipline to stay on course, especially when the world around you is chaotic or when others attempt to distract you. It requires a clear understanding of your values, goals, and priorities. By continuously redirecting your attention to the things that align with your personal mission, you build a stronger foundation for your success. Over time, this discipline strengthens your mental resilience and sharpens your ability to stay focused on your path, no matter how many distractions arise. The more you focus on your goals, the less power your enemies and detractors have over you. When you stay focused on your own success and personal development, you remove the need for conflict. You don't need to engage in battles with people who are trying to bring you down because you're too busy building the life you want. This focused energy ensures that you are always moving forward, no matter the obstacles that come your way. And the more you focus, the less room there is for negativity or distractions to take root. You win by staying focused and refusing to let anything divert your attention from your purpose. One of the most powerful ways to maintain control over your own destiny, especially when dealing with adversaries, is by focusing on your personal growth. The more you invest in improving yourself, the more you naturally begin to outgrow the negativity, conflict, and people who might try to hold you back. This idea of self-development is central to becoming impervious to the destructive forces around you. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you increase your personal value in ways that diminish the significance of your enemies, ultimately making it unnecessary to fight them at all. First and foremost, personal growth is an ongoing process. It's not a destination, it's a commitment to continual improvement. If you've ever been in a situation where someone was trying to undermine you, you know that it can be easy to fall into the trap of defending yourself, reacting to the insults or attacks, and getting caught up in a cycle of negativity. However, when you choose to focus on personal growth, you rise above this. Instead of worrying about what others think or trying to prove your worth to them, you focus on your own progress. This shift in focus takes away the energy and the attention from your enemies and directs it towards something far more productive, your own evolution. Personal growth is not just about improving your skills or gaining knowledge, it's also about developing the right mindset. The mindset that embraces challenges as opportunities, a mindset that views failure not as defeat but as a stepping stone on the path to success. As you grow, you begin to see life's difficulties from a different perspective. What once may have felt like an attack now looks like a lesson, a challenge that you can overcome through your growth. This perspective enables you to move through tough situations without being derailed by negativity or distractions. The more you grow, the less power your adversaries have over you. Focusing on your personal growth also builds inner strength. The stronger you become mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, the more you realize that external opinions and actions have far less impact on your life. Personal growth isn't just about acquiring new skills, it's about strengthening your ability to withstand challenges, rise from setbacks, and maintain your peace regardless of the storms around you. The more you invest in yourself, the less likely you are to feel threatened by others. You learn to build resilience, to keep moving forward despite the hurdles, and to stay focused on your long-term vision. In the end, when your strength comes from within, no external challenge can shake your foundation. Another critical aspect of personal growth is self-awareness. As you continue to grow and reflect on your experiences, you become more aware of your own strengths, weaknesses, values, and goals. This self-awareness empowers you to act with intention. You begin to recognize when someone is attempting to push your buttons or provoke you, and instead of reacting emotionally, you can step back and decide how to proceed. Self-awareness also allows you to become conscious of the habits and patterns that might hold you back from becoming your best self. By identifying these obstacles and working to overcome them, you naturally start to remove the things that could lead to unnecessary conflict. The more you understand yourself, the less likely you are to be drawn into situations that don't serve your higher purpose. Investing in personal growth also cultivates self-confidence. As you see yourself improving, mastering new skills, and overcoming challenges, your belief in your abilities grows. You start to realize that you have the power to create the life you want, regardless of the challenges or adversaries you face. This confidence is incredibly disarming to those who may wish to see you fail. When you are confident in who you are and what you are capable of, others' attempts to undermine you become irrelevant. Their words, actions, and opinions can no longer disturb your peace because you've already developed an unwavering belief in yourself. By focusing on personal growth, you also create a greater sense of purpose. People who are caught in conflict often lack a clear vision for their lives. Their energy is drained by drama, by the constant need to defend themselves or fight for validation. But when you are focused on growth, you are constantly working toward a larger goal, a vision that is greater than any short-term challenge or conflict. This vision becomes your guiding light, keeping you on course no matter how much external noise surrounds you. It allows you to stay calm in the face of adversity because you know that nothing that happens today can take away the dream you are working toward.